Shelby's house, evening. Title card, 1997. It's fall, and we're looking outside of the main character, Kid Shelby's home. Trees are moving, and leaves are blowing. We go from the outside of the house to the inside of Kid Shelby's room. We hear her mom, Janice, speak as we start to see her playing with her toys.
Shelby, sweetie, it's time for movie night.
Shelby drops her toys and gets up to run to the TV room.
Coming, Mommy.
Scene 2, internal, Shelby's living room, evening, same day. Kid Shelby runs out of her room and into the living room. She runs under her father, Tony's, arms, almost hitting him as he's carrying multiple popcorn bowls.
Shelby, honey, be careful, please.
Sorry, Daddy.
Kid Shelby sits on the ground in front of the TV while her drink is next to her. Tony walks past the couch where Janice is sitting and hands her, then, Kid Shelby, their bowl of popcorn.
Is Judas down?
Janice passes him his drink.
Yep, he's passed out. So, what movie did you pick up from the store this time?
Kid Shelby starts to eat her popcorn while Tony walks up to the TV, grabs the VHS out of the box to put it in.
Well, I figured we'd get into the witchy season a little early.
You didn't.
Did what, Mommy?
Well, Shelby, your daddy thought it would be a good idea to pick up a movie that I told him that we would watch alone and not as a family. That's all, honey.
Janice glares at Tony and Kid Shelby looks at her father.
Okay. Weren't you the one that said I needed to treat her more as an adult than a baby?
Yeah, as in speaking to her and not baby her with whatever she wants.
Come on, babe. She's old enough now where we can explain these type of things.
Tony kneels down to Kid Shelby.
Shelby, you know Daddy loves you, right?
Of course, Daddy, and I love you.
I know, baby. You understand that movies are fake, right? They're written by some guy on his kitchen table and another guy who's provided millions of dollars to film it thinking people would enjoy it, right?
Of course, like Homeward Bound, right, Daddy?
Just like Homeward Bound. Except we know witchers aren't real too, right?
Of course, Daddy, and if they are, then they're in a house made of gingerbread and thrown in the oven.
See, babe, she understands it's not real.
Tony puts the craft VHS into the player and walks back to the couch to sit down. Kid Shelby watches her dad take a seat.
I still think this is a god-awful mistake.
Relax, babe, it'll be okay.
Tony hits play on the remote. Kid Shelby looks from her parents' back at the TV. Movie starts to play, and we can see the film play out on Kid Shelby's face. She's focused as she hears the characters start to chant spells throughout the movie. Scene 3, internal. Outside Shelby's room, night, same day. We see Tony carrying Kid Shelby asleep as both parents take her to bed.
I still think it was a bad idea for her to watch that movie.
Tony gently puts Kid Shelby down into her bed, and both parents kiss her goodnight.
She's fine and understands that movies are fake. She knows not to act what she sees on TV.
Janice shuts off the light as both parents leave the room. Kid Shelby opens her eyes as they close the door. Scene 4, internal, computer room, day. Title card, weeks later. We see Kid Shelby on the computer researching things online and drawing things in a black leather notebook. She already has a purple leather notebook open next to her.
Shelby, honey, come on, we're gonna be late. The baby even beat you.
Kid Shelby closes her black leather book.
Coming, Dad.
Kid Shelby gets down off of the chair to run out of the room. Scene 5, external, Shelby's home. Day, same day. Kid Shelby runs past the kitchen where you see the kitchen knives, but then runs back in front of the kitchen. Scene 6, external, Shelby's home. Day, it's the same day. Shelby leaves the house with her notebook in hand. Janice is outside the vehicle as Tony is putting Judas in.
Hey, why do you have my work notebook?
To draw and read.
Okay, honey, but don't forget that when we leave Jordan's place, okay? Mommy still needs that.
Kid Shelby nods her head. We see everyone get into the vehicle and drive off. Scene 7, external, friend's backyard, day, same day. Kid Shelby runs into the backyard where all of her friends, Kid Scott, Kid Keith, Kid Abby, Kid Rose are playing jump rope. We see Janice turn to speak with her friend Jordan. Kid Shelby approaches her friends. We see Kid Keith jumping. Kid Abby and Kid Scott are moving the rope. And Kid Rose is counting.
Hey guys.
Hey Shelby, you finally made it.
Yeah, it's great that you're here. Quickly grab this thing before my arms fell off.
You can't be getting tired on me already.
Don't be a little girl, Scott.
Kid Scott flips off Kid Keith.
Hey, you want to try something fun?
Kid Shelby hands Kid Rose the notebook in secrecy. Kid Rose opens and flips through it, worried as she sees words and pentagrams.
Shelby, what is this?
You want to try it? I saw it done once and it looked fun.
What looks fun?
Kid Rose looks at Kid Shelby, worried.
Follow me and you'll find out.
Scene 8, external, friend's backyard, day, same day. We see the kids laying on the ground in a circle. Each person has their feet straight and connecting with the foot to the person next to them.
Light as a feather, stiff as a board. Light as a feather, stiff as a board. Light as a feather, stiff as a board.
Kid Rose sits up.
Nothing is happening, Shelby.
Kid Keith and Kid Scott sits up.
Yeah, I thought you said that one of us would start floating.
Don't worry, Keith, you'll float too.
Kid Scott chuckles. Kid Keith shoves Kid Scott enough to make him fall back down.
Shut up, Scott. You know I hate that clown.
Kid Scott gets back up.
I know, but it's still funny.
Kid Abby sits up.
You said that it would be fun, Shelby, but all of us are just lying on the ground getting dirty and gross.
Kid Abby wipes her arms free of any dirt. Kid Shelby finally sits up.
I don't know what's wrong. I watched it done dozens of times and spent so much time researching.
You guys want to play TV tag?
As long as I don't get dirty again, I'll be fine.
Kid Abby, Kid Scott, Kid Rose, and Kid Keith all stand up to leave. Kid Shelby jumps up, desperate, with her hands out.
No, wait. Okay, that one didn't work, but I have another idea, and I promise this one will work. Please, guys, you gotta trust me.
Kid Abby, Kid Scott, Kid Rose, and Kid Keith all look at one another.
Alright, fine. But this is the last thing we do. My mom and I have to leave soon.
It'll work, I promise. Cross my heart, hope to die, stick a needle in my eye.
We get it, Shel. Now let's all lay back down for the last time because I don't want to get dirty for a third time.
Kid Abby, Kid Scott, Kid Rose, and Kid Keith all start to lay down again. Kid Shelby pulls out her book again and flips through the pages.
Why aren't you lying down?
I will, there's just one thing I have to do.
Kid Shelby stops at a page and takes out a knife from her pants and puts it to her palm. All the kids sit up.
What the hell?
No, wait, Shelby, I'm out.
Kid Rose starts to get up.
Lay down now.
Yep, got it.
All the kids lay down, again connecting their feet.
I don't like this.
Neither do I.
Kid Shelby cuts her palm with a knife, clenches her palm tightly to let the blood run, and stabs a knife into the ground in the middle of everyone. Kid Shelby lays down to connect her feet like everyone else.
Now repeat after me. Deus,
Deus,
Via,
Via.
Aperta,
Aperta.
Immortalis,
Immortalis,
Vita.
Vita,
Now all together. Deus, Via, Aperta,
Immortalis, Vita. Deus, Via, Aperta, Immortalis, Vita. Deus, Via, Aperta, Immortalis, Vita.
Deus, Via, Aperta,
Immortalis, Vita.
Shelby, honey, dinner is ready.
Rose, Keith, Scott, Abby. Come on, guys. Kid Rose, Kid Keith, Kid Scott, and Kid Abby rush to get up.
Finally.
Kid Keith runs off.
Dang, still nothing happened.
Yeah, next time, Shelbs, leave the knife.
Both Kid Scott and Kid Abby walk away. Kid Rose holds out her hand to help Kid Shelby up.
I'm sorry nothing happened, Shelby.
Kid Shelby grabs Kid Rose's hand with the uncut hand and sits up.
Thanks.
Kid Shelby watches Kid Rose as she walks away. Kid Shelby looks down at the ground where she stabbed the knife to the ground and holds her bloody hand.
Come on, Shelbs. It looks like it's gonna Storm.
Kid Shelby looks back towards her mom as Janice is waving to come in.
Coming, Mom.
Kid Shelby turns to look at the knife, then walks away. As soon as Kid Shelby turns, a black, deteriorating finger with long black fingernails cuts the back of Kid Shelby's neck diagonally from left to right. Kid Shelby grabs the back of her neck with a bloody hand and turns around, but nothing's there.
Ow.
Kid Shelby turns back around to walk and approaches her mom.
Honey, are you okay?
I think so.
Well, honey, let me see.
Janice grabs Kid Shelby's hand to draw it away from her neck.
Oh my lord, Shelby, you're cut and bleeding on your neck.
Janice moves Kid Shelby's hand to discover the massive slash on her hand.
Baby, what happened to your hand? You're bleeding everywhere. Tony, come here quick and grab a towel.
Tony comes with a towel and kneeling down to Kid Shelby, wrapping her hand in the towel.
Shelby, what the hell happened?
I fell.
The hell you did. Come on inside and we'll clean you up.
Kid Shelby looks behind her once more to see nothing as both parents are taking her inside the house. We see trees moving in the wind, a knife still in the ground with blood. Scene 9, Eternal, Shelby's house, evening, same day. We see Kid Shelby walk in the house with her parents as she has her hand wrapped in a bandage. Tony's phone starts to ring. Tony puts down the car seat and answers it.
Hey, Jordan. Yeah, no, she's okay.
Kid Shelby walks away to head to her room.
Wait, what? What do you mean you found a knife in your backyard? Are you sure? Okay, I'll talk to her.
Tony hangs up.
Everything okay?
Yeah, Jordan said that they found a knife in their backyard, stabbed in the grass, with blood on it.
You don't think...
I don't know, but I'll go ask.
Scene 10, Eternal, Shelby's room, evening, day. We see Janice in her room, staring at the ceiling when Tony walks in.
Shelbs, I just got off the phone with Jordan, who said that they found a knife in the ground with blood on it. You didn't have anything to do with this and your hand.
Yeah, sorry, Dad. I brought the knife because Scott told me he wanted to whittle something he saw on TV. I guess when I tried to hand it to him, it cut me and the blade fell into the ground.
Uh-huh. Well, don't take our knives to anyone else, or don't even play with a knife. You know better.
I'm sorry, Daddy.
I just don't want to see you or anyone get hurt, especially when you're trying to mimic something on TV.
Sorry, Dad. Love you.
I love you too, baby.
Tony slowly shuts the door. Scene 11, Internal, Shelby's room, night, same day. We see Kid Shelby sleeping when she hears a thud and wakes startled. She looks down at her hand as she's in a little bit of a pain, and blood has started to be coming through the bandage. Another loud bang happens.
Mom? Dad?
Another loud bang. Kid Shelby gets up and walks out of her room. Scene 12, Internal, Shelby's house, hallway, night. We see Kid Shelby walking out of her room and into the hallway. She heard a child laughter and runs into the kitchen. It startles Kid Shelby, but she continues to walk towards to the kitchen.
Abby? Keith? Come on, guys. This isn't funny.
We hear two bangs and Tupperware. Kid Shelby is continuing to walk towards the kitchen, turning on the lights. Kid Shelby reaches the kitchen and turns on the light to see, but nothing is out of place. But it's freezing inside the kitchen.
Scott? Rose?
Scene 13, Internal, Scott's room, night, same day. We see Kid Scott sleeping in his bed with Kid Keith sleeping on the floor. A loud bang woke both kids up.
What the hell was that?
I don't know, man. Go check it out.
I'm not going. You go check it out.
Bro, it's your house.
One game of rock, paper, scissors.
Okay, fine.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. I guess we both go.
Fine.
Scene 14, Eternal, outside Scott's room in the hallway, night, same day. Kid Keith and Kid Scott are leaving Kid Scott's room into the hallway, towards the living room with the lights off. Kid Scott is clenched onto Kid Keith's shirt, afraid. Kid Keith slaps Kid Scott's hand off of him.
Man, get off me. This is your house, remember? I don't know why you made me go first.
'Cause if one of us dies, they'll miss you the least.
Both boys hear two loud thuds.
Man, if I die, then I'm gonna come back and haunt your ass.
Kid Keith and Kid Scott enter the living room only to be terrified at what they're seeing. The loud thud becomes more rapid and heavy. Kid Scott leaves from behind Kid Keith and goes in front.
Dad?
Scene 15, internal, Shelby's house, kitchen, night, same day. We hear a loud thud again and startles Kid Shelby. She walks from the kitchen to the living room to see that her father, Tony, has his hands holding and hitting his head against the wall, only this time faster and harder.
Daddy?
Tony starts to hit his head faster and harder again. The living room lights pops on as we see Janice running towards Kid Shelby and Tony.
Tony? It's okay, honey. Your daddy is sleepwalking again.
Again?
Janice holds her hand between Tony's head and the wall, guiding him away and towards their room.
Yeah, your daddy used to sleepwalk all the time back when we first got married. But it's weird. He hasn't done this in years.
Janice and Tony leave the room.
Go to bed, honey.
Kid Shelby watches her mom and dad leave the living room.
Will do, Mom.
Kid Shelby looks back at the wall to see a break in the wall. Janice's phone starts to ring and she answers it. Kid Shelby looks back towards her parents' room, starts walking towards it while turning off the lights in the living room.
Slow down. Slow down. What's going on?
Kid Shelby stops to see her mom sitting on the bed finishing up the call while Tony is sleeping.
Okay, well, keep me posted. I just can't believe it. Happened to all of them? No, Tony's fine. Have a good night.
Janice hangs up the phone and walks towards Kid Shelby.
That was Scott's mom, honey. It seems like all four of your friends' fathers were rushed to the emergency room. All four split their heads open by slamming it in against the wall. I'm just happy we stopped your father before he hurt himself.
Is Daddy okay?
Of course, Shelves. He just needs his rest. Now, go get a new bandage.
Got it, Mom.
Scene 16, internal, Shelby's house, kitchen, night, same day. Kid Shelby finishes cleaning her hand in the sink and wraps it. She then starts to turn off the lights, beginning with the kitchen. Then, the hallway lights. A tall, completely dark figure goes from behind hunched over to standing straight up to walk behind Kid Shelby. She puts her hands to the side towards the wall where his fingernails start to grow sharp at the end. Kid Shelby turns off the last light. We then see the same black deteriorating figure with long black fingernails cut the back of Kid Shelby's neck diagonally from right to left this time. Kid Shelby quickly grabs the back of her neck and turns around.
Ow.
Kid Shelby stands in fear as she sees a deteriorating Kid Abby at the end of the hallway with heavy black around the eyes, veins in the face, and what looks like black tar coming out of her mouth. Out of fear, Kid Shelby rushes into her room and shuts the door. Scene 17, internal, Shelby's room, night, same day. Kid Shelby runs into her room where she puts her head under the covers, shaking in fear. Kid Shelby continues to hear that guttural, sinister voice of the Kid Abby getting closer and closer.
We're one. We're one. We're one. You're ours.
Scene 18, internal, Shelby's room, day. Title card says, years later. We hear an alarm go off and see Shelby uncover her face to shut off the alarm. Shelby stretches and sits at the side of her bed, rubbing her face with her palms. She sits up to go towards a photo of her dad in a frame next to a Notre Dame hat. She picks it up and kisses it.
Morning, Dad. Thank you for watching over me.
Shelby puts the photo down, picks up the hat to put it on, and walks out of her room. Scene 19, internal, Shelby's house, kitchen. Day. We see Janice getting breakfast, ready for Shelby as she enters the kitchen.
Morning, Mom.
Shelby kisses Janice on the cheek.
Morning, baby. Did you sleep well?
Shelby sits at the table as Janice puts the food down.
Not really. Since living in New York, you get used to the noise and I can't sleep without it.
Janice sits next to Shelby at the table.
So you are finally meeting up with your friends after all this time. It's been years since your high school graduation.
Yeah, it's gonna feel weird though.
How so?
Well, after Dad's contusion to his head, then his death, then their dad stabbed within a few years of one another, all for the same reason.
Yeah, it's sad. I still think you should have gone to their funerals since they were your friend's father.
Hey, have you heard from Judas? When will he be here?
Shelby's phone starts to ring and sees it's Abby's.
Maybe not until tomorrow. You know, Shelbs, friends are hard to come.
Sorry, Mom, it's Abby. I gotta go.
Shelby stands up, kisses Janice on the cheek, and walks away. Scene 20, external, coffee shop, day, same day. We see grown Abby, grown Scott, grown Rose, and grown Keith all sitting outside having a cup of coffee.
Are you guys feeling weird about this?
What are you talking about?
Well, she hasn't really spoke to us since she moved away.
Yeah, but like all of us,
Scott shoots out the paper from the straw to hit Rose.
we all have our falling outs at points. I don't think she's changed.
Yeah, okay. I'll believe it when I see it.
Shelby is crossing the street.
Shelves, over here.
Shelby approaches her friends.
Hey, guys.
Hey.
Long time, Shelby.
Yeah, it has, Scott.
Sit down, girl. I want to hear everything about living in the Starlight City.
Shelby sits down.
Trust me, it's not that glamorous.
I've heard that there are so many dining locations that you'll never visit the same place twice in 5 years.
Leave it to Keith to be asking about food.
So I've got the love for food. You've got the money. Abby's full of herself and lusting after men.
Abby gives Keith a disgusted look.
And Scott.
Scott is sitting there with 2 straws up his nose.
Well, Scott, buddy, you got...
Oh, that's easy. Scott still lives with his mom because he's too lazy to leave.
Scott takes out the straws.
Whatever. I watch over my mom since my dad died. Everyone can't be like all of you who've got these fancy cars.
He says with a little bit of jealousy.
Everyone laughs.
Bro, I drive a Civic. There's nothing fancy about that.
What about you, Shelby?
Well, I mean, I'm missing all of you.
The waiter comes to take the order.
Hey everyone, looks like your 5th person is finally here, so what can I get you?
Can I get an iced coffee? Black, please. List one down the side.
Got it. And for you, sir?
Can I just have a hot latte, please?
Okay.
Waiter looks at Abby.
Yes. Can I get an iced Americano with a little bit of skim milk? Not the usual amount, but just a splash. Oh, and can I get a side of sugar and a cup of your caramel, please? I'd like to put it in myself.
The group is just looking at her with confusion.
What? I like my coffee a certain way.
Rose gives a roll eye to Abby.
Can I just have a black hot coffee, please?
Most certainly. And for you, madam?
Yeah, can I get a...
Ooh, let me guess. You'll want a raspberry tea with a little bit of cream, or is it an iced mocha coffee with milk and no sugar?
The group looks confused.
The iced coffee, please.
Most certainly, Shelbs.
The waiter walks away.
Okay. Do you mind explaining how the waiter knew what 2 choices you were going to order?
Yeah, it's simple.
It's because we were here last year.
Wait, what? You were here last year? Why didn't you tell us?
It was only last year when Scott and I met up.
Why do I feel like that's a lie?
Well, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
Wait, really?
No, it's not.
Oh, really? So when we met up, you ordered the coffee, but how did you know about the tea?
It was just a lucky guess. We dated a little after graduation.
Bullshit.
How many times?
Rose, I told you.
I asked how many times, Shelby.
Basically every fall.
Rose scuffs. Abby rolls her eyes. Keith looks away with disappointment.
I fucking knew it. I knew you were lying to me last year.
So for every year you've never reached out to us. Why?
I was dealing with my mom and how she's not doing well since my dad passed away.
Rose slams her napkin on the table and stands up.
But we needed you too, Shelbs, for those years. Just like how we were there for you when you needed it.
Rose starts to walk away. Abby, Scott, and Keith start to get up and walk off after Rose walks away. The waiter comes back to the table with the drinks as everyone is gone.
I'm sorry, I'll take these back.
Hey, thanks so much. This should cover it, right?
Yeah, don't worry about it. Anything missing, I'll cover for you.
Thank you.
Shelby gets up and walks away. Scene 21, external to internal. In bookstore, day, it's the same day. We see from the inside out that Shelby starts to walk by a bookstore, but stops to look inside. Shelby walks into the door to be greeted by the older female shop employee, Alice.
Hey, honey. How are you? What can I do?
Hi, where do you keep your religious section?
Yeah, it's just to the right of the edge of the hallway there. Everything okay, sweetie? You look a little disappointed.
Oh, yeah, I'm okay. Thank you. Just got back in town and need some religion in my life.
Don't worry, honey. I know how you feel. We're one.
Shelby stops walking and looks at the shop employee.
What did you say?
Oh, I'm sorry, dear. What I meant to say, we're all one in the eyes of God, so I know what it feels like to need Him.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Shelby continues to walk in the back. Scene 22, internal, Shelby's house, night, same day. We see Shelby's mother at the table sipping tea as you can hear the radio going. Shelby enters the home with a book in a bag in her hand.
Hey, honey, how was your time with your friends?
Well, it went as expected.
Shelby starts to take off her shoes.
That bad, huh? Did you explain?
No, I didn't have time. They just got up and left, so I just went to the new bookstore, then took a walk.
Shelbs, it's like 9 p.m. You went for breakfast.
I know, I just really needed me time.
Shelby takes a seat on the couch.
You know, after your father passed, I did the same thing. It's just whenever I did give myself time to think, he'd be the only thing I'd think about.
Shelby sighs.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go to bed. It was a pretty mentally exhausting day.
Shelby gets up and walks away.
Okay, Shelb, have a good night.
Good night, Mom. Wake me if Judas gets here.
Scene 23, internal, Rose's house, hallway, night, same day. Rose enters her home as her husband Clark is covering their kids, Emma and Michael, in their blankets for bed. Hey, Rose. How was it seeing Shelby? Rose stops at the door of the kids' room.
Let me tell you, big city life will change someone.
Clark starts to walk out of the room and kisses Rose on the forehead. Come lay on the bed with me and tell me all about it. Clark walks towards their room and shuts off the hallway light. Rose starts to walk until their daughter Emma sits up and calls to their mom. Scene 24, internal, Rose's house in the kids' room, night, same day. Rose walks and kneels down next to Emma's bed.
Mommy, I thought you were gonna be home after breakfast.
I'm sorry, baby, but Mommy had gone to see Auntie Shelby and, well, it didn't go so well. So Mommy had to go take a walk.
Michael sits up in bed.
Mommy, what's that on your pants?
Rose looks down to see some dirt on her pants and brushes it off.
Mommy just sat in the park for a little bit.
A dark shadow figure passes the kid's door in the dark hallway. A loud crash happens. Rose, frightened, looks towards the door and then to the kids.
Now go to bed, you two.
Rose kisses both kids on the heads before shutting off the bedroom lights. Scene 25, internal. Rose's house, hallway, night, same day. Rose starts to walk away from her and Clark's room and towards the south. We see the black figure rise behind Rose to follow her. Scene 26, internal. Rose's house, guest bedroom, night, same day. Rose turns on the light, but nothing is there. She hears another noise in the garage. As she turns off the light, the black figure shows up inside the room. Scene 27, internal. Rose's house, garage, night, same day. Rose turns on the garage light to see that the garage door was open. She notices that an object is knocked over. She goes down to pick up the item and put it back where it belongs. She walks back to the door, to the house, takes a look one more time inside, and turns off the light. Rose takes one step inside of the house until she realizes that something is holding on to her. Her foot gets partially pulled, where she hits face first onto the ground. She screams and tries to escape as she gets pulled into the garage. She's trying and the door slams shut. As the camera pans away, you can hear the screaming and things getting thrown around. Scene 28. Internal, Abby and Scott's place, night, same day. We see Abby and Scott enter their living quarters. As Abby turns on the light, Scott becomes frustrated.
I don't understand why we can't tell them.
What, and ruin the fun we're having?
Abby starts to kiss Scott on the cheek and then the neck.
Yeah, you'd think something would have come of 5 years of having fun.
What?
Abby looks up at Scott.
What, you're not having fun?
Scott goes to sit and turn on the TV, where the TV anchor addresses a park murder. Abby follows suit. Abby looks at Scott and licks a red liquid off his face.
You forgot a spot.
Scott turns to Abby as they both start to make out and take each other's shirts off. Scene 29. Internal. Keith's house driveway. The night, same day. We see Keith pull into his driveway and park. Keith gets out of his vehicle and takes a deep breath. He notices that the trash is out by the road, so he goes to put it in the backyard. Scene 30. Internal, Keith's backyard night. Same day. Keith puts a trash can in its place where the light in the backyard goes off. Keith hears and sees a child that looks like his daughter Amelia in the dark call to him.
Daddy?
Baby, is that you?
Daddy, I think I'm hurt.
Amelia, what are you doing out here this late?
Keith starts to walk to her, but she runs off further into the darkness.
Come, Daddy. Come help me fix my wound.
Keith starts to go after her until his wife Charlotte turns on the light and opens the door with Amelia next to her.
Keith, what are you doing out here?
Well, I thought Amelia.
Keith looks towards the direction where the child ran.
What about me, Daddy?
Not the baby.
Okay, well, you have a phone call. It sounded pretty urgent.
Scene 31. Internal. Keith's house, night, same day. Keith goes towards the house phone and answers.
Wait, Shelby, calm down. Now what happened to Rose?
Scene 32. Internal. Scott and Abby's night, same day. We see Scott get out of bed without a shirt to answer his phone, as Abby was snuggling against him.
Hey, man, it's midnight.
Scott, sorry to call you this late, but it's Rose. She's in the hospital. Clark found her in the rafters.
We're on our way.
The fuck we are.
Well, we'll be there in the morning.
Scene 33. Internal. Hospital room. Morning. We see Shelby close to the bed, holding onto Rose's hand as she's sleeping. Clark is laying on the couch, sleeping. There is a black book next to Rose's bed. Keith, Scott, and Abby silently knock on the door. Shelby walks to them and closes the door to speak in the hallway. Scene 34. Internal. Hospital hallway. Morning. Same morning. Keith and Scott have their arms crossed in concern. Abby has her hands on her hips and Shelby is hunched with her arms crossed.
So about yesterday, I owe you guys an apology. I'm sorry I haven't been there for any of you, and I should have. I guess I've been a little
Self-centered.
Yeah, so I just wanted to apologize to you all about it.
That's fine. We forgive you for the most part.
What did the doc say?
She'll probably die.
All four look at Abby.
Why? You all saw her.
Well, I slept here last night and the doc said that the lacerations on her body looks like there may have been an animal in the garage when she went in there. And when Clark ran in there, it scared whatever it was.
Yeah, but it doesn't explain how she was in the rafters.
Well, Clark believes that she was able to escape and crawl up there before any more harm came to her.
Shelby checks her phone for the sign.
I gotta go. Look, again, I'm sorry for how I've treated you guys over the years, and
We forgive you.
Shelby looks at Abby, confused.
We'll text you if anything changes.
Shelby smiles and head nods and leaves. Scene 35. Internal. Hospital room. Same day. Scott, Abby, and Keith enter Rose's hospital room. We see Clark start to wake up and sit up. Hey guys, what are you doing here?
Clark, we're so sorry to hear what happened to Rose.
Abby grabs Clark's hand.
We came as soon as we heard.
Keith and Scott look at each other, knowing the truth. Thank you, Abby. She's doing a lot better from when I brought her in. The doctors have her on some sedatives to help her sleep. They also said that the lacerations...
It came from the animal in the garage. Don't worry, Shelby told us all about it.
Shelby was here? I didn't even know.
Yeah, she said she slept here all night.
I mean, probably. I knocked out when Rose did. Clark stands up and hugs everyone. But it's good to see all of you. Thank you for coming. Clark hugs Scott and takes a whiff of him. Scott subtly moves away out of awkwardness. Scott? Is that coconut cucumber I smell?
Yeah, well, you know I ran out of my stuff, so...
He used Abby's.
Rose slowly gets up. Clark rushes to her side to help.
How did you know?
We all know you and Abby have been sleeping together.
Rose smiles at Clark for helping her sit up.
What gives you that impression?
Bro.
He subtly nods his way with a smile.
Wait, you all knew?
Well, I mean, you two weren't really subtle about getting in the same car together when she was dropping you off home.
Her smacking your ass before you got in was kind of a giveaway.
Abby looks at Scott and gives the same nod of the head and smile. Clark notices the book and hands it to Rose. Hey, it looks like someone left you a book.
It must have been Shelby. Apparently she was here with you guys the whole night.
Scene 36, external graveyard day. We see Shelby walking up and then sitting in front of a gravestone.
Hey Dad, just wanted to do the annual tradition of coming by to say hi. School isn't going that well. For some reason, things just seem to get harder and harder with no escape in sight. I know you tried, Dad. I know you tried to be here for us, and even in the hospital, you tried your hardest to recover. We needed you then, Dad, and the sacrifices you made for the family. I know it took a burden on you. Now I understand how much it's taken a burden from Mom, too. But I'm gonna step up this time. No more running. I'm gonna help Mom and the family and make things right. Because we are a family, and we're all stronger together as one unit.
We now see Rose walking up and standing behind her. After a few moments, Rose slowly sits down next to her, trying to hide the pain of her wounds. She has the book that was left at the hospital in her hand. She looks at Tony's grave.
Hello, Mr. Kane.
Shelby is still looking at her father's grave.
Doctors let you out already?
Well, a few days in the hospital, loads of painkillers, antibiotics, and a few hundred stitches will kind of help you get released there, Shelbs.
Silence?
Look, Rose, I'm sorry.
You know this book. I thumbed through it a bit, and I have to say, I didn't picture you in providing self-healing books without pentagrams.
Well, you know I gave up on all that after we were kids. I was dumb, and I still have the scar on my hand.
Yeah, well, thank you for the thought. I'll hold on to it.
Rose puts the book to her side.
So how's he doing?
I don't know. He's usually a talker, but for some reason it's a dull moment.
Yeah, it was kind of a dead giveaway. The conversation you had before I showed up just seemed like a dead end.
Shelby starts to chuckle and stands up.
You know, we're probably gonna go to hell for joking about my dad being dead.
Shelby helps Rose to stand up and both wipe off the dirt on themselves.
Yeah, well, he would have laughed if he was here with us. I'm hungry. Ready to go grab some food?
Yeah, let's go.
Scene 37, internal, bar, same day. Shelby and Rose walk into the bar as their friends have been waiting for them. They all start to hug Shelby, and Scott begins to limp over to make fun of Rose before he gives her a hug. Scene 38, internal, Shelby's home, night. Janice is finishing up cleaning dishes as a black figure walks quickly behind her. As she puts the last dish up to dry, the lights turn off. Janice looks puzzled, goes to dry her hands and plays with the light switch, but nothing happens. Scene 39, internal, Shelby's home, same night. Janice walks to the circuit breaker to see that the breaker had flipped.
Ah, well, that solves that one.
Before she switches the circuit breaker back on, there is a dark figure standing right behind her and starts to walk closer. Janice flips the switch for the lights to pop on, and the figure is gone. Janice flips on the TV as we hear the news anchor, and Janice sits down.
We're here bringing you the news that again there has been another attack, except this time it's been in the Santa Muerta cemetery. Examiners and officers have told us that the victim's death is similar to the incident last week, but they're not for sure. He was a 38-year-old semi-truck driver.
The lights shut off again. Janice gets up to check the switches again, only for them not to work. Janice is standing there puzzled as we see the dark figure again walk behind her. Scene 40, internal, Shelby's home, same night. Janice opens a closet door looking for a candle and a lighter. Janice stands up and we can see a decomposing Kid Rose walk closer to Janice, very slowly and demonic, with the head, neck, her neck breaking, cracking, shoulders cracking to the side. Janice sees what she's looking for and bends down to pick it up. At this point, Kid Rose is right behind her. Janice stands up and Kid Rose slashes the back of her neck, leaving a diagonal cut going top right to bottom left, above a diagonal scar going top left to bottom right. Janice grabs the back of her neck.
Ow, damn it.
Janice looks at her hand with a bit of fear, noticing blood. We hear a bang coming from the bedroom and the sound of loud running towards Janice. Janice rushes to go into the kitchen. Scene 41, internal, Shelby's home, kitchen, same night. Janice runs into the kitchen, where all of the cabinets start to slam open with plates crashing to the floor. Plates and glasses start to get thrown at Janice and breaks against the wall. Janice starts to hug the wall and slides down and sits on the floor. The breakage slowly stops. As she gradually opens her eyes, she sees a decomposing Kid Rose underneath the table in an animalistic position. Kid Rose charges at her on all fours. Janice gets up and slides as she tries to run. Scene 42, internal, Shelby's home, hallway. Same night. We see Janice running in the hallway when the lights turn on and she runs into Judas. Janice hugs Judas.
Hey, Mom, what's going on?
Judas, I don't know what's going on. The plates and the child.
Okay, I'll go check it out.
Judas leaves and starts to check the house, going from room to room. We see a mid-shot of Janice and slowly work to a close-up as we start to hear Judas in the kitchen, but not hear anything.
Judas? Judas?
Judas shows to the side of where Janice runs into him.
Hey, Mom.
What the hell?
Nope. Hell is living in this house.
Where did you go?
Oh, I went out the back to see if anyone may have left, so I searched the back of the house too.
Judas takes Janice's hand to lead her to the kitchen.
Here, Mom. I'll show you that everything is okay.
As Judas and Janice get to the kitchen, she notices that plates are still on the floor. Janice looks at Judas and looks back at the kitchen. Right when Janice turns the corner, decomposing Kid Rose is there looking at her with black liquid coming out of her mouth and heavily breathing. Janice looks back at Judas and he's gone. Janice starts to walk backwards as decomposing Kid Rose is watching her walk away.
We're one. We're forever.
Janice starts to run out of the kitchen. Scene 43, external, outside of Shelby's home, same night. We see Janice start running out of the house when a car starts to pull up in the driveway. Janice runs to the car and slams on the hood. The car stops, and Judas comes out with blood on his shirt. Janice slaps Judas.
Ow! What the hell, Mom?
Judas grabs his cheek. Janice grabs Judas and hugs him.
Hi, Mom. I'm home.
Scene 44, internal, Shelby's home, same night. Shelby walks into the house as the lights are turned off, but the TV is going. Shelby goes to grab the remote to turn it off.
Had left his vehicle and walked on foot.
Welcome home.
Janice jumps.
What the hell, Judas? How long have you been there?
We see Judas sitting on the furniture and gets up to turn on the lights. Shelby shuts the TV off.
Not that long. Look, we have an issue with Mom.
Judas turns to face Shelby.
What now? What the hell happened to your shirt?
As part of that traffic stop I called Mom about, a semi swerved into a van with kids. I ran out of my car to save everyone, but I could only save the kids with standard medic stuff. There was only a mom, and she was all a bloody mess, and the semi driver, well, I couldn't find him. He must have flew out somewhere.
Jesus. Well, kudos to you for making sure those 2 kids were taken care of. They're our future.
Look, Mom isn't doing too well again. There was glass all over the floor.
Tell me something I don't know.
Look, Shelbs, she's getting worse. Since Dad's passing, I don't know how much she can take. Day by day, she seems to be whittling away.
Shelby starts to walk away.
Yeah, and what do you want me to do about it?
Contribute, Shelby.
Shelby stops walking away.
You need to contribute.
And what the hell do you think I've been doing since getting here, Judas? And while I'm gone, I've been contributing my whole life. While you're just a 2-hour drive away from Mama, dearest, I've been on the other half of the states contributing, making sure our family is taken care of. Because I know after she's gone, it's me that has to make sure your ass is taken care of.
Shelby leaves the room. Scene 45. Eternal. Shelby's room. Same night. We see Judas come up and stop at Shelby's door as she's lying in her bed.
Look, I'm sorry, Shelbs. Sometimes I forget how heavy it was for you to lose Dad. I forget how close you guys were.
It's okay. You're a guy and won't understand.
Judas sits on Shelby's bed. Shelby sits up.
Well, I may be a guy, but there is always room for me to understand. I don't know, maybe it'll just hit me like a pipe against the head or something.
Both chuckle.
Yeah, but I'll always be there for you no matter what would happen to me.
Both put their hands together.
Thanks, sis.
Janice is sitting outside the door.
See, now that's what I call sibling love.
Judas gets off the bed.
Yeah, but don't tell anybody.
Judas leaves the room. Janice gives a stern look at Shelby. Shelby looks away. Scene 46, internal. Shelby's home, morning. Shelby and Janice are sitting at the table eating fruit off of it. Judas walks over to sit down with toast and then starts to eat the fruit as well. Shelby is looking at her mother.
Judas, I found this awesome bookstore and wasn't sure if you wanted to go check it out with me.
Yeah, sure. I don't have anything better to do. Oh, is it cool that we invite your friends?
Shelby looks at him.
I haven't seen them in a while, and it would be great to see everyone again.
Shelby looks at Janice, and Janice is giving her another stern look.
Oh yeah, sure, no problem.
Scene 47, external to internal, bookstore, same day. We see Judas open the door for Shelby. As she walks in, she is greeted by Alice again.
Hey guys, welcome back to the shop. I'm sorry I didn't catch your name last time.
It's Shelby. And this is my brother Judas.
Judas waves hello, and he's looking around.
Oh, I'm happy to meet you as well, dear. What can I sell you for this time?
Shelby and Judas start to look around and walk away.
We're just looking, thank you. It's my brother's first time in here.
Yeah, this place wasn't here last time I was in town.
Judas and Shelby walk away.
Well, let me know if you guys need anything.
Will do. Thank you, Alice.
Shelby and Judas are looking around at the books.
Well, she seems nice.
Judas almost knocks over some books on the shelf.
Yeah, but looks can be deceiving.
Scene 48, internal, bookstore, aisle, same day. We see Judas and Shelby turn the corner of the bookstore, and a book catches Shelby's eyes. She quickly grabs it and pulls it from the shelf to flip through it.
Here it is.
Shelby finds the page she's looking for.
What's that?
Judas looks at the page that Shelby has stopped.
It's a history book of witches from our town.
Ah, shit, Shelby, I thought you were done with this.
Yeah, but I wanted to show you something about Mom.
Oh, please, now you're going to tell me that Mom is a witch?
Yeah, there have been a series of witches here in Danvers. Then what happened the other day, it just seems like she needs to put up her due.
Fake news. I saw the kitchen when I came home, and there was no way she could have done that and sell how frightened she was.
Yeah, then how do you explain this?
Judas looks down at the book again.
It says here that Danvers was known for the Salem witch trials and that some of the bloodline can be found living in the city today.
The lights in the bookstore all shut off. All the books in the front of Judas and Shelby start to shoot out of the bookshelves. The lights turn back on, with Alice standing right in front of Shelby and Judas.
That's an interesting book you chose. Would you like to purchase it?
Shelby slowly closes the book.
I think we're good. Thank you.
Okay, no worries, my dude.
Alice takes the book away from Shelby and puts it back on the shelf.
Judas, my dear, would you assist me with picking up all these books?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Both Judas and Shelby help pick up the books when they hear the bookstore door shut.
Oh, Lucy, I'm home.
Hey, Shelves, where's my little bro at?
Sorry, we gotta go.
Shelby walks away as Judas hands Alice a book, smiles, and walks away as well. Scene 49, internal, front of bookstore, same day. We see Judas and Shelby walk up to the front of the bookstore where Scott and Keith are located.
What? There he is, people.
Keith picks up Judas and hugs him, and they do their secret handshake.
Why don't we have one?
Judas hugs Scott.
Cucumber and coconut? You've been sleeping with Abby, haven't you?
Scott points and looks at Shelby.
Did you tell him?
Nope, just had a crush on her when I was a kid.
Judas pats on Scott's chest.
Let's go.
Shelby shrugs and leaves the bookstore with Judas. Scene 50, external, front of bookstore, same day. We see Abby and Rose outside of the bookstore as Judas comes out and hugs Abby, then Rose. Shelby, Scott, and Keith leave the bookstore.
So, Scott, huh?
The choices are small in this town.
Oh, blow, Abs.
Yeah, never call me that again and I'll give you a blow tonight, okay?
Abby winks at Scott. The group walks away from the bookstore.
So, where to now?
Why not the old warehouse?
Ugh, Rose. No way, Rose.
Why, what's wrong, Shelves? Are you too scared?
No, I just don't want to get a tetanus shot.
Oh, come on, Shelby. Live a little and explore. Plus, Rose's spouse and my wife all understood that we were going to all hang out all night.
We could just go to the valley.
I mean, I do have these.
Abby pulls out 2 joints.
Valley it is.
Scene 51, external, grass field, night, same day. We see 2 cars pull up in an open field and stop with Abby driving and Keith. With doors open and music playing, everyone gets out and starts to lay on the grass and hood of the vehicles.
You know, I've truly missed this. Hanging out with all of you again brings back some great memories.
Well, those memories can continue if you decide to stay.
I don't think I can after tonight.
All I can say is that I've missed doing this with you guys. Although for some reason, some crazy shit's been happening.
Rose sits up.
What do you mean?
I don't know. Just the other night, I could have sworn I saw the guy who waited on us the other week was murdered. Then when Abby was at work, I took a nap only to wake up with fear and this heavy feeling, like if someone was just sitting on my chest.
That was new music by To the Stars, We Return. On the sad note, we were just informed that the elderly lady who owns the bookstore downtown, Alice, has been murdered tonight.
Shelby, turn that up.
Shelby walks up to Abby's vehicle to turn up the volume of the radio in the vehicle.
According to officials, she was dragged down an alleyway with her face beat. She was also found murdered with lacerations around her arms, and the body looks to be like it was drained.
Drained? How?
Well, you see, you take a straw and you stab it into a Capri Sun, you start sucking. Ow.
We just left there a few hours ago.
That shit's brutal.
What do you think's happening?
I don't know, but it can't be good.
I feel like it's all connected.
What do you mean?
Since being back, a lot of weird shit has been happening, like Rose's situation.
Yeah, that same night, I heard my daughter say my name and she tried to lead me into the dark forest. It was only until my actual daughter and wife came outside to ask what I was doing is when I realized something was off.
Abby and I just made love like 2 monkeys.
What Scott is trying to say is that nothing happened to us that night, other than getting the phone call about you. Wait a minute. Shelby, didn't this shit happen the last time you cut your hand on purpose?
What is that supposed to mean, Abby? If you're blaming me, then we might as well blame everyone else that's here as well, as we were all there that day.
What the hell? I wasn't.
Actually, you were. Just in baby form.
Yeah, height never changed though.
Judas flips Scott off.
Okay, look, we've all seen some shit. However, we shouldn't blame whose fault it is. For all we know, what's happened to us within these few weeks has nothing to do with us.
Keith's phone starts to ring. Rose's phone starts to ring.
Aw shit, here we go. It always starts with the phones.
Okay, honey, calm down. What is going on?
Wait. Slow down. Where are the kids?
Judas's phone starts to ring. Shelby looks at Judas.
It's Mom. Hey, Mom.
Judas starts to walk away.
Oh, thank Christ. I've been trying to reach you for the past 8 hours.
Mom, what are you talking about? We've only been gone for at most 4.
You need to get home. Now. You're not safe. I just got a call from the deputy saying that they're coming for
Mom?
Hill. Scott.
Mom!
Phone call ends. Judas raises his hand, hanging up the phone, concerned when he sees decomposed Kid Scott, Kid Shelby, Kid Keith, Kid Abby, and Kid Rose in the distance. They have a dark substance oozing out of their mouths, and flesh are torn on their faces. Shelby puts her shoulder on Judas, scaring him.
Hey, what's going on? Is everything with Mom okay?
Judas looks back at the decomposed kids, but they weren't there.
Judas, seriously, what's going on?
Nothing. I think we should head home.
That sounds like a good idea. Rose and Keith are off the phone now. Let's go see what's going on.
Shelby and Judas walk back to the group.
They're leaving.
Wait, why?
Our spouses are in the hospital.
We weren't told much other than that it doesn't look good and we should go see them.
Well, you let us know if you need anything.
We should head home too. I couldn't understand Mom and she seemed worried. Like someone had called her to warn her or something.
Okay, you two update everyone else once y'all get to the hospital to see what's going on. You guys too. There's some crazy shit going on right now.
Abby, you keep Scott safe.
Don't you mean I should keep her safe?
Everyone starts to walk away. Abby starts to pat Scott's chest.
That's cute, honey. But we all know I wear the pants.
Not true.
We see Scott walking off screen, where we see decomposed Kid Shelby, Kid Scott, Rose, Kid Keith, and Kid Abby right behind him, giving a demonic smile. They then run the same direction as Scott is left. We see all the vehicles driving. Scene 52, internal, Abby's vehicle, night, same day. We see Abby driving as Scott is in the passenger seat driving to their apartment.
So you really think I can't keep you safe?
Of course you can, babe. You're a really strong man.
Seriously, Abby, I'm getting sick of your passive aggressiveness and sarcasm. I honestly thought it was a coping mechanism dealing with your past trauma. However, I just think you're doing it to be a dick.
Whoa, hold the hell up. Don't you bring my past into this when we both know we had the same share of trauma in our lives.
Except you don't get the fact that I've given you everything. When all I get in response is just more sarcasm and feeling underappreciated.
Stop at the stoplight.
Look, I'm sorry I haven't been the best to you sometimes, and maybe some of it is a defense mechanism. Can we just talk about this later? There's a lot more going on right now.
Light turns green.
Fine. Only if you can promise me we'll do better, starting with respecting me.
Fine.
Abby and Scott hold hands as both look away from the road. Decomposed Kid Shelby, Kid Scott, Kid Rose, Kid Keith, Kid Abby hold hands and start skipping across the road in front of Abby's car. Scott turns to see the kids. Scott turns his head to see them.
Abby, look out!
We hear tires screeching and see the kids' eyes turn black and give a demonic smile with black goo coming out of their mouths. As Abby slams on brakes, Scott braces himself on the dash to a complete stop. Car turns off. Scott notices something lying on the floor.
Are you okay?
Scott bends down to pick up the book similar to Shelby's.
What the hell is this?
Abby looks to see him holding onto a book.
It looks like a book.
Scott opens the book.
Yeah, well, no shit. Why is this exactly like Shelby's from when we were younger?
Don't look at me, it's not mine.
It's in your vehicle. How is it not yours?
I don't know.
Scott is flipping through the book.
Abby, there's some real gross things in here. Why do you have a book talking about sacrificing babies?
I told you, it's not mine.
Abby puts the car into park and tries to start the vehicle. Decomposed Kid Shelby and Kid Scott run on Scott's side of the vehicle. Scott looks outside the vehicle.
What the hell was that?
Abby's still trying to start the vehicle and starts.
I don't know, but let's just go home.
Abby puts the vehicle in drive when the camera pans to the side of the kid to see Kid Rose, Kid Abby, and Kid Keith are outside of Abby's window. Scene 53, external. Outside, Shelby's house. Night, same day. Shelby and Judas drive up to their parents' house. As Judas is driving, Shelby gets a text message from Rose. Clark and Charlotte are in a coma. Shelby's response. Doctor know why? Rose. No. Rose's response. I haven't heard from Scott and Abby too. Shelby's response to Rose. They're probably still driving. Keep me posted.
Well, did they find anything out yet?
No, not yet. I told her to keep us up to date if they do find out anything more.
Do you think they will?
I don't know, Judas. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. There are so many things that could cause a coma that there's a possibility they won't find out the cause.
We hear glass shattering inside the house and a shadow figure getting tossed against the wall through the window. We then hear a deep, guttural voice loud enough that Shelby and Judas could hear outside the home. Scene 54, external to internal, Shelby's house, night, same day. We see Shelby and Judas run into the home where their mom is lying on the ground unconscious. Shelby first runs over to their mom and bends down to make sure she's okay. Judas shuts the door and almost knocks over a bat by the door.
Mom, are you okay? Mom, wake up.
Janice comes too.
What the hell happened?
Judas walks over with concern towards Janice.
We just pulled in the drive and we heard the noises and then you fly against the wall.
Janice holds the back of her head to find blood.
All I remember,
Judas and Shelby help her up.
I was reading the book in my hand, heard some crashing, then got pulled out of where I was sitting.
Shelby looks down to see the book in her mother's hand was her spiritual book she did as a kid.
Mom, why do you have that book?
Both Janice and Judas look down as well.
Why don't you give me the book, Ma? It's not for you.
Shelby is looking directly at her mother.
Why does she have the book?
Shelby is still dead-eyeing her mother.
I don't know why.
Judas holds out his hand towards his mother.
Mom, how about you give Shelby or I the book?
Shelby slaps Judas's hand to reach out for the book.
Mom, you shouldn't have that book. No one should have that book.
Janice starts to look up at Shelby.
Then why do you still have it then? Why did I find this between your bed?
I don't know. I burned it in our fire pit years ago.
Oh.
No, seriously, Mom, she really did. I saw it myself.
Janice starts to push Shelby towards the door.
It's all your fault. It's been your fault. Get out.
Janice is still pushing Shelby towards the door.
No, Mom, really, I don't know what that is.
Shelby now is back against the door. Janice is hitting Shelby's shoulders.
You're the reason your father is dead. Your friend's father, and including family. It's always been your fault. Get out.
Janice grabs the bat next to the door. Shelby notices and opens the door. Janice swings and misses, but Shelby trips in to fall outside.
You're no daughter of mine.
Janice spits on or in the direction of Shelby. Janice lifts the bat over her head as she's going to hit Shelby. Judas notices and goes to grab it.
Mom, no!
Janice hits Judas' head as she swung back quickly, knocking him out. Scene 55, internal, hospital, night, same day. We see Rose and Keith at the hospital sitting on chairs outside of their spouse's hospital rooms. Keith hands Rose a cup of coffee. Rose has her purse next to the chairs.
Thank you.
Kind of weird, isn't it?
What is?
I don't know. I mean, weird shit is always happening in this town. We always hear stories about it as kids. Should it be either super superstitious or factual information in the city archives? You don't really think about it unless it's happening to you.
I think every city has its issues or superstitious tendencies.
But it's different, you know? Take the fact that growing up with Shelby, we had some weird shit happen. It wasn't until we started to grow apart that when things seemed semi-normal.
I mean, yeah, However, you can't really use that because even with our fathers dying, she wasn't anywhere in sight.
That we know of. Remember, it wasn't until a few weeks ago that we found out that she actually was in town during all of those times. We found that out because of Scott.
Yeah, speaking of Scott, it's kind of weird to know that him and Abby are having
Tony?
sex. Don't say that word.
What?
Only kids use that word. Or adults named Scott. Yes, Scott. Kids and adults named specifically to and related with the name Scott.
Okay, that's fair.
Both pause for a moment. We see the female doctor, Dr. Lilith, come up to approach Keith, accidentally knocking over Rose's purse, where items including a leather-bound notebook falls out.
Oh my, I'm so sorry.
Keith and Rose scramble to put everything back in.
It's quite all right. Hey, Keith?
Yeah, Doc. How is she doing?
Not good. For reasons we don't know. She's had a major contusion to her head and we don't know why. I think it's best to go in there as I don't know how much more time she actually has.
Rose stands up.
And Clark? What about Clark? Don't worry, we're actually on our way to go see him now.
Rose puts her hands on Keith's shoulders.
Go check on her.
Keith nods and walks past the doctor, Rose. Scene 56, internal, hospital, night, same day. We see Keith enter Charlotte's hospital room as she's lying down unconscious. Keith kneels down next to Charlotte's bed.
Hey, baby. Listen, sweetheart, you're coming out of this one okay. A lot of weird shit has been going on when my pops died. I can't bear to have you go too. You've been the healer to my alcoholism, my train of thought through my struggle with PTSD, and Amelia that needs her mother, baby. Please, you got this. You got this.
Charlotte begins to flap.
Baby. Baby.
Female nurses and Dr. Lilith comes rushing in.
Check her EKG electrodes and carotid pulse.
Lilith points at the nurse.
Then you start doing a cardiopulmonary resuscitation if the systems are fine.
Lilith goes to Keith and tries to inch him back.
Keith, we need you to step back, okay? We need to do our job to save Charlotte.
Is she gonna be okay?
Keith begins to step back.
I don't know, but I'll try.
Keith continues to step back closer to the shades next to the door.
Is she going to be okay?
We need an injection of vasopressor M.
As she stops by the counter and shades next to the door, we see a hand push a needle through Keith's neck and injects liquid into his body. Out of shock, Keith holds where the needle was as he's falling to the floor. As Keith is blacking out, in first-person view, we see a lady being pushed into the room in a wheelchair known as Madame Delilah.
Hello, Madame Delilah.
The cameras are off. Get him and the other guy into the vehicles, quickly.
Yes, madam. The nurses will distract the guards and help you get them out.
Screen goes black. Scene 57, internal, dark, open room, night, same day. We see Scott, Keith, and Clark all knelt down with bags over their heads. Abby, Rose, Shelby, and Charlotte are lying down with bags on their heads, seemingly unconscious. Their hands are tied behind their backs and surrounded by candles in between one another, a circle drawn in the middle. We then see legs walking around them, one by one, ripping the bags off of the men's heads, with each taking a breath when they come off. A mysterious person walks away into darkness. What just happened? What the hell just happened?
I don't know, man. I still can't really see.
Zoinks.
Keith turns to where Scott is located.
Scott, is that you, man? Whatever they injected me with, I'm still having issues with seeing.
Clark sees where Rose is lying. Rose! Rose! Man, what's going on?
I don't know, man. Abby and I were talking through some things, then some Play With Us Danny children showed up.
Keith is still trying to see, squinting and opening his eyes, looking for Charlotte.
Charlotte, are you there?
Shelby wakes up.
What is happening?
Shelbs, mind telling us what's going on?
Bro, she has a bag on her head. I'm pretty sure she doesn't even know.
Well, since she's been back, a bunch of weird shit's been going on, so tell us.
Keith, I'm telling you, I have no idea what's going on.
Bullshit.
Come on, man. She just said she doesn't know.
Exactly. You don't think I would tell you if...
Footsteps and clapping hands can be heard in the distance going towards the group behind Shelby.
You know, I wasn't sure if we'd be able to pull this off.
Footsteps and clapping is getting louder and closer as our view starts to go more into the darkness behind Shelby.
The waiter basically spoiled some of it.
Janice steps out of the shadows and into the scene, walking closer to Shelby with the chef's knife.
Seriously, why did he have to call you out like that? Alice, though she was just for fun.
Janice picks Shelby up off the floor onto her knees.
I fucking knew it.
Janice begins to walk in a circle around everyone.
You didn't know anything, Keith, honestly.
As Janice walks behind Keith, she slits the back of his neck with an axe and points to him with it as she walks towards Clark.
I'm surprised we didn't get you to go into the forest at your place originally.
I promise you, Keith, I had nothing to do with this.
Janice walks behind Clark and slits the back of his neck with an axe. Bitch!
Oh, it's okay. You don't have to pretend anymore.
Janice walks towards Scott.
Please, no, I'm pretty sure I have AIDS. You don't need to cut me up.
You've already made the family proud. The things you've done in New York and killing your father was just an initiative.
Janice stops behind Scott to hold his shoulder and pauses. Janice slowly slits Scott's neck.
No! Fuck you.
Janice wipes the knife off with her outfit.
Now, Keith, is that any way to treat one of your best friend's mom?
Janice once again walks towards Shelby.
You're not my mom, you psycho bitch.
Janice takes off Shelby's mask. Janice then kneels down and slaps Shelby in the face.
No, you're not my daughter.
Janice stands up.
Yet.
Janice gets in the middle of the circle and starts to chant.
Deus vias aperta immortalis vita. Deus
What is she doing?
via aperta
Shelby spits out blood
immortalis
as
vita.
Janice is still chanting.
Deus
I don't know.
via
What do you mean you don't know?
immortalis
She's saying the same shit you told us to say as kids.
Deus via
Shelby, what's going to happen?
Deus via
Keith starts to try to get out of his tight hands.
Man, she doesn't know.
We never said it this many times.
Well, you better begin to think of something. Janice is still repeating the words. Shelby closes her eyes.
Okay, let me think.
Janice begins to float in the air, back bending behind, with her arms starting to be bent behind her back, still repeating the words.
Well, you better begin to think of something quickly. Shit is getting worse.
I got it.
Clark and Keith both look at Shelby. Janice is still chanting.
Repeat after me.
I repeated shit you said before. I'm not doing it again.
Trust me, Keith.
Come on, man. It's either this or die.
Deus mi custodian. 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 Deus mi custodian.
Janice is still chanting. Charlotte, Abby, and Rose starts to position to their knees. We can hear the laughter of children. Shelby, what's happening? Keith is still chanting.
Just keep going. Deus mi custodian. Deus mi custodian. Deus mi custodian. Deus mi custodian. Deus mi custodian.
Charlotte, Abby, and Rose starts to float in the air, now chest bending backwards, legs going straight, and arms bent back. We can still hear children laughing behind everyone.
Shelby!
Keep going. Deus mi custodian. Deus mi custodian. Deus mi custodian. Deus mi custodian. Deus mi custodian.
Janice suddenly stops.
Deus mi custodian. Deus mi custodian. Deus mi custodian. Deus mi custodian.
Charlotte, Abby, and Rose forcefully gets pulled into the shadows behind everyone while a screeching scream comes from Janice. We hear guttural children screaming. Janice falls from the air. What the hell?
Where are our wives and Abby?
I don't know. I thought that would have worked.
Guttural laughter comes from Janice as she gets up.
Oh, sweetie, haven't you realized yet? You're too far into the hole.
Where are our wives? Janice stands up.
There is no going back.
Out of nowhere, Judas hits Janice with a pipe, knocking her out.
Thanks for putting me in a trunk. Never thought I'd say this, but our mom's a cunt.
Judas grabs Janice's chef's knife to cut Shelby free.
Please tell me you're not part of this.
I'm not.
Judas walks over to start cutting Keith free. Shelby stands up.
How can we believe you?
Judas cuts Keith free.
Because I'm not.
Judas walks over to Clark to begin cutting him free. Yeah, okay, your family has already displayed normality. He stands up. Judas stops cutting the ropes off of Clark.
I'm not, okay? Now do you want to get free or not?
No shit. Rope is cut from Clark, and Clark stands up. Clark looks at Janice lying on the floor. What do we do about Mother Shipton here?
Let's go find our wives first, and then we'll discuss what we do with it.
Scene 58, internal. Dark school hallway. Night, same day. We see Clark, Keith, Shelby, and Judas walk out into the hallway with lockers on the side. Everything looks ran down with rust and plant overgrowth.
Where would they have gone?
Clark does a circle looking around. Why does it look like we're in a school?
I told you Mom is a little off and something weird was going on.
Yeah, well, you know, weird shit happened as we grew up anyways. You remember Grandma and the goat.
Guys, focus.
The group goes down the hallway and stops. Scene 59, internal, dark school hallway, night, same day. Clark, Keith, Shelby, and Judas stop in the middle of the hallway in a circle. We hear guttural scream come from the direction of where they left, and all four look in that direction.
Okay, so you guys go look for your wives. Shelby and I will deal with our mom.
No, we need to stay together. Judas and Shelby look in the direction of Keith and Clark.
No, he's right. You and Keith go to your wives, and we'll...
Shelby suddenly gets dragged to the floor, forcefully grabbing the corner of the hallway.
Shelby!
Shelby's body and face is then slammed against the bottom of the locker forcefully 5 times until she is pulled quickly away out of frame.
I need to go after her.
No, you need to help us find our wives.
Listen, you guys don't understand. I'm the strongest out of her and I am the family legacy.
Not much legacy going on after tonight. Keith suddenly starts to get dragged on the floor towards the other end of the hallway.
Keith!
Scene 60, internal, dark school hallway, night, same day. Keith is pulled in and into the room where he is placed in a chamber. The door closes with a circular window. Clark is the first into the room to run after him, following Judas. You can hear banging as Keith is being thrown into the chamber. Keith! Clark easily opens the door to find Keith laying there and kneels at his side. Hey man, you okay? He slowly gets up on his knees, holding one arm.
I think my arm is fucking broken, man.
Judas finally reaches the opening of the door.
You okay, man?
Judas is then flown across the room and hitting the wall as the door shuts again in the chamber. Judas runs up to the door. Get us the hell out of here! Judas tries to open the door but can't pull it open.
I'm trying, but it's not working.
Try fucking harder. You can see Judas on the other side of the window trying to open.
It's not fucking moving.
The heater starts up in the chamber to reveal that it's a walk-in kiln. Temperature slowly rises.
Hurry the fuck up.
Judas continues to pull, but nothing. A hand shows up on Judas' shoulder, and he stops trying to open the door. Judas steps to the side as we see Shelby. Help, Shelby! Get us out of here! Shelby looks around the door.
No, I don't think I will.
I knew it.
Come on, Shelby, stop playing. We see Shelby look to her side and steps away as we see Janice come into the frame, and the temperature rises to over 100 degrees. Both men are sweating, and body is starting to blister. Keith starts to scream.
Thank you, men, for your sacrifice and keeping your family legacy alive.
We hear the men scream as Janice walks away while Rose and Charlotte steps in front of the window with blackened eyes to watch their husbands die. We see the wheelchair come into the scene as Madame Delilah steps into the room with an entourage of black-robed hooded women and black-eyed Abby.
Hello, Mom.
Shelby and Judas move over to kiss their grandmother to the side of the cheek.
Hello, dear.
Both Rose and Charlotte walk over, their blackened eyes slowly go back to normal. Shelby and Judas walk away from their grandmother so Rose, Charlotte, and Abby can approach.
I know the first one is hard.
Madame Delilah looks at Shelby and Janice.
It was hard for my daughter and granddaughter too when it came to their fathers.
Madame Delilah looks back to Rose, Abby, and Charlotte.
But you did it for your legacy, and you've proven your commitment to the coven.
Madame Delilah looks at everyone around the room.
Now, let's continue to grow.
Both Charlotte, Abby, and Rose move away. Scene 61, external. Outside the school, night, same day. We see Madame Delilah, Rose, Charlotte, Shelby, Janice, Abby, Judas, and the hooded women walk outside of the school grounds under the school sign.
With tonight's sacrifices,
Rose, Abby, and Charlotte move towards Judas. Madame Delilah joins Rose and Charlotte's hand to Judas's right and left hand. She joins Abby's hand to both Rose and Charlotte's.
it makes way towards continued growth. For one of you will have a boy to continue the male dominance. As for you, Judas, you will be a sacrifice one day yourself when your son is born. However, for every boy born after the first, they will forever be the blood of the earth, as only girls will be forever living. But the one man will be the most powerful. He is the bringer of the seed to populate.
All four lean their hands together.
Forever it shall be.
We now see all 6 individuals start to walk off the camera, including the entourage of women in robes and decomposed Kid Shelby, Kid Rose, Kid Abby, Kid Keith, Kid Scott, skipping behind. We see the name of the school, Canaanite High School. Fades out, credits. Fade from credits. Scene 62, internal hospital, day. We see Nurse Lilith step into the room where the little girl is recovering from a crash with scratches all over her arms and patches all over her legs.
Hey, sweetie, how was your nap?
Lilith walks over to check on the little girl's vitals. The little girl slowly sits up as she is still hurting.
It was okay. I had this weird dream about my brother. Him and I were in our cabin before our parents' divorce.
Lilith grabs the chair to sit next to the little girl's bed. She starts to push the hair from the little girl's face to the back.
I'm sorry, sweetie. I know it's been a few weeks that your brother has been in the ICU, but don't worry. I believe he's going to make a full recovery.
There's a knock on the side of the door and catches both Lilith and the little girl by surprise.
Oh, it looks like you have a visitor. The man who saved your life.
We see Judas at the door with balloons, flowers, and a black leather-bound book. As Lilith walks out of the door, she whispers to Judas.
Brother died of suffocation. I'll see you tonight. It's been a while since we had alone time.
Lilith smiles and walks away. Judas smiles and watches as Lilith leaves the room. Judas looks back at the little girl and smiles.
Hey, sweetie.
Hi?
Judas walks towards the little girl.
Oh, don't worry, sweetie. I come bearing gifts.
I'm allergic to flowers.
Judas smiles and throws the flowers over his shoulder.
That you are.
Judas goes over to sit in the chair that Lilith was sitting on.
Is my brother gonna be okay?
Don't worry, baby girl. I think he'll make a full recovery.
Little girl looks extremely upset.
What's wrong, sweetie?
Are we going to foster care?
Judas smiles with a bland grin.
Oh no, sweetie.
We see Rose, Abby, and Charlotte enter the room.
We have a home for you. Oh, I almost forgot.
Judas hands the book over.
This is a copy of my sister's book when we were kids. She didn't know I made a copy, so she was shocked to see I had one. Honestly, she confused me too on how she felt about it. Needless to say, our mom and her pulled a good trick on me. It's yours now.
Then